In the heart of the vast, snowy expanse, where the wind whispers secrets through icy crystals, lived a little penguin named Pingu. He wasn't just any penguin. Pingu had a heart full of curiosity and feet that loved to wander. One sparkling morning, as the sun painted the sky in shades of pink and gold, Pingu woke up with a familiar tingle of adventure. He waddled out of his cozy igloo, took a deep breath of the crisp, cold air, and looked out at the endless white landscape. Today was not a day for fishing or sliding down the same old hills. Today was a day for discovery. Pingu decided to venture further than ever before into the Whispering Woods, a place older penguins warned was full of mysteries. But Pingu wasn't scared. He was excited. With a determined chirp, he began his journey, his little footprints leaving a neat trail behind him in the fresh snow. The woods were even more magical up close. The trees were draped in heavy blankets of snow, their branches glistening like they were decorated with millions of tiny diamonds. It was quiet, a peaceful silence broken only by the soft crunch of Ping's feet. As he ventured deeper, he heard a faint rustling sound. Peeking from behind a large snow-covered pine tree, he saw two bright, curious eyes staring back at him. It was a little Arctic fox, her fur as white as the snow around them. She was playfully trying to catch a single, resilient snowflake that danced just out of her reach. Pingu had never seen a fox up close before. He gave a friendly squawk, and the fox, whose name was Fifi, tilted her head, her playful chase forgotten. She trotted over, her tail wagging gently. They didn't speak the same language, but in the universal language of friendship, they understood each other perfectly. Fifi, knowing the woods like the back of her paw, decided to show Pingu her favorite spots. They scampered and slid through the trees, Pingu on his belly and Fifi on her nimble paws. Their laughter, a mix of happy chirps and soft yips, echoed through the silent forest. Fifi led Pingu to a hidden frozen pond, its surface so clear it looked like a sheet of glass. As they marveled at its beauty, they noticed a tiny movement near the edge. A family of otters was there, tumbling and sliding into the water with joyful splashes. They were sleek and playful, their whiskers twitching with delight as they chased each other under the ice. Pingu and Fifi watched, captivated. The lead otter, a wise old fellow named Oscar, noticed them. He swam to the edge and, with a flick of his tail, sent a spray of chilly water their way. Pingu jumped back with a surprised squawk, which made Fifi giggle. Soon, all the otters joined in, and what started as a surprise turned into a fun game of splash and dodge. Pingu, forgetting he was a bird of the ice, joined the otters for a quick, chilly dip, his sleek feathers keeping him warm. The water was invigorating, and he felt a joy he had never known before after their refreshing swim. Oscar the otter told them about a special place deep within the woods. The Crystal Caves, a cavern where icicles sang when the wind blew through them. The idea of a singing cave was too magical for Pingu to resist. With their new otter friends showing the way, the growing group of adventurers set off. The journey was filled with more fun and games. They built a magnificent snow penguin, played a grand game of hide-and-seek among the giant snowdrifts, and shared stories through gestures and sounds. As they traveled, they came across a clearing where a majestic snowy owl was perched on a high branch, his golden eyes observing everything. He was Professor Hoot, the wisest creature in the woods. He hooted a soft greeting and, intrigued by the unusual group of friends, decided to join their quest. With his bird's-eye view, he could spot the safest paths and the most beautiful sights. He guided them past tricky patches of ice and through dense thickets of pine. Finally, they arrived at the entrance to the crystal caves. It was a breathtaking sight. The entrance was a grand arch of ice shimmering with all the colors of the rainbow. Inside, the cave was a wonderland. Giant icicles of all shapes and sizes hung from the ceiling like a magnificent chandelier. And just as Oscar had promised, when the wind blew through the entrance, the icicles vibrated, creating a beautiful, harmonious melody. It was like nature's own orchestra playing a symphony just for them. They all sat in silence, listening to the magical music of the ice. Pingu felt a sense of peace and wonder wash over him. He looked at his new friends. Fifi, the playful fox, Oscar and his cheerful otter family, and the wise Professor Hoot. They were all so different, yet here they were, sharing this incredible moment together. They spent hours in the cave, exploring its nooks and crannies, their silhouettes dancing in the faint light filtering through the ice. As the sun began to set, casting long, purple shadows across the snow, the friends knew it was time to head back. Professor Hoot guided them with his keen sight, and they retraced their steps, their hearts full of the day's magic. They promised to meet again soon for more adventures. Pingu bid farewell to his new friends at the edge of the woods. He watched as Fifi disappeared like a phantom into the trees. The otters dove back into their river home, and Professor Hoot soared gracefully into the twilight sky. Pingu waddled back to his igloo, his little heart brimming with happiness. The world felt so much bigger and more wonderful than he had ever imagined. It wasn't just a vast, empty expanse of snow. It was a world full of friends, music, and magical places waiting to be discovered. That night, snuggled warmly in his igloo, Pingu dreamed of singing caves and playful friends. He knew this was just the beginning of his great winter adventures, and he couldn't wait to see what tomorrow would bring. And as he drifted off to sleep, he understood that the greatest treasure of all wasn't a place, but the friends you shared the journey with.